Why would anyone describe the life of Sam Elliott at 81 as sad? After all, he achieved what countless actors only dream about. He built a career that lasted more than half a century. He became one of the most recognizable faces in American entertainment. His voice alone could command attention in a crowded room. His image became inseparable from the rugged spirit of the American West. Yet sometimes sadness has little to do with failure. Sometimes it comes from something much larger. It comes from time. Because no matter how successful a person becomes, no matter how admired they are, there comes a moment when they look back and realize that the decades they spent building a life have somehow disappeared. The people who were there at the beginning are often gone. Entire eras vanish. The world changes around them. And even legends eventually find themselves confronting the reality that nothing lasts forever. For Sam Elliott, that reality carries a particular emotional weight. Born on August 9, 1944, in Sacramento, California, Sam Elliott entered a world very different from the one we know today. America was still in the final months of World War II. Television was years away from becoming a household fixture. Hollywood itself looked entirely different. His father, Henry Nelson Elliott, worked as a predator control specialist for the Department of the Interior. His mother, Glynn Mamie Sparks Elliott, was a physical training instructor and high school teacher. They believed in hard work, discipline, and responsibility. Those values would stay with Sam throughout his life. When he was still young, the family relocated to Oregon, where much of his childhood unfolded. The landscapes of the Pacific Northwest left a lasting impression on him. Wide open spaces, rural communities, and a culture that respected independence helped shape the man audiences would later see on screen. Even as a young boy, Elliott was fascinated by movies. Like many children, he dreamed of becoming an actor. But unlike many dreamers, he never completely abandoned that ambition. There was just one problem. His father reportedly viewed acting as an uncertain profession. He wanted his son to pursue a more practical path. The idea of making a living in Hollywood seemed unrealistic. That conflict planted an early challenge in Elliott's life. He wanted something that many people considered impossible. And pursuing impossible dreams often comes at a price. After attending college and studying acting, Elliott eventually headed toward California. Like countless hopeful performers before him, he arrived with ambition but without guarantees. Hollywood can be a brutal place for newcomers. For every actor who becomes famous, thousands struggle in obscurity. The road was anything but easy. Years passed. Then more years passed. Small roles came and went. Television appearances provided occasional opportunities. Casting directors noticed his striking appearance, but notice alone did not create stardom. Many aspiring actors quit after a few disappointments. Sam Elliott endured decades of uncertainty. He worked steadily, but true breakthrough success remained frustratingly distant. The sacrifices were enormous. While friends outside the industry built predictable careers, started families, and enjoyed financial stability, Elliott continued chasing opportunities that might never arrive. Every audition carried hope. Every rejection carried disappointment. Yet he refused to give up. Part of what made him different was something audiences would later come to know instantly. That voice. Deep, rich, calm, and unmistakably American. It became one of the most distinctive voices in entertainment history. Combined with his tall frame, weathered features, and iconic mustache, Elliott possessed a screen presence unlike anyone else in Hollywood. He didn't need explosive dialogue. He didn't need flashy performances. Often, a single look communicated more than pages of script. But uniqueness can sometimes be a challenge. Hollywood frequently rewards actors who fit familiar molds. Elliott's rugged authenticity made him memorable, but it also meant finding the right roles required patience. Fortunately, patience became one of his greatest strengths. Throughout the 1970s and into the 1980s, opportunities gradually expanded. Westerns proved especially important. His natural connection to cowboy culture felt genuine rather than manufactured. Audiences believed him because he seemed to embody the values associated with the American frontier: strength, integrity, resilience, and quiet confidence. As his career grew, so did public admiration. Millions of Americans saw something reassuring in Sam Elliott. He represented a version of masculinity that felt grounded rather than aggressive. He wasn't the loudest person in the room. He wasn't chasing headlines. He projected steadiness, reliability, character. In an industry often associated with glamour and excess, Elliott appeared refreshingly authentic. That authenticity became his trademark. Film after film, television appearance after television appearance, audiences developed a connection with him that extended beyond individual performances. They trusted him. And trust is one of the rarest accomplishments any public figure can achieve. Eventually, the years of struggle began paying off. The actor who once fought for opportunities was becoming a respected Hollywood presence. The dream that had seemed so uncertain during his younger years was finally turning into reality. But there is an irony hidden within every long career. The same decades required to build greatness are the decades that quietly disappear. One day an actor is young, hungry, and fighting for a chance. Then suddenly, he looks around and realizes half a century has passed. The long road to success becomes part of history. And while Sam Elliott's greatest professional achievement still lay ahead, another journey had already begun. A journey that affects every person, famous or not. The journey through time itself. Because even extraordinary success cannot protect anyone from aging, change, and the emotional realities that come with watching the world transform around them. And for Sam Elliott, those realities would eventually become impossible to ignore. The years that followed transformed Sam Elliott from a respected character actor into something far more significant. He became a symbol, not just of Hollywood, but of a disappearing America that many people still long to believe existed. By the 1980s and 1990s, Elliott's career had entered a remarkable new phase. Audiences no longer saw him as simply another actor. His name carried expectations. Whenever he appeared on screen, viewers knew exactly what he would bring. Authenticity, quiet strength, and a sense of dignity that felt increasingly rare. Films such as Mask, Roadhouse, Tombstone, and later The Big Lebowski helped cement his place in popular culture. Whether he played a lawman, a mentor, a cowboy, or a trusted friend, he possessed an unusual ability to make characters feel real. Many actors become famous because they transform into someone else. Sam Elliott became famous because audiences believed he was exactly who he appeared to be. His success continued through multiple generations of entertainment. While many performers struggled to remain relevant as Hollywood changed, Elliott adapted without abandoning the qualities that made him unique. Yet perhaps the most important chapter of his life was unfolding away from movie sets. In Hollywood, lasting marriages are often treated as miracles. Relationships form and dissolve with astonishing speed. Careers, schedules, and public attention place enormous pressure on families. Many couples never survive it. But Sam Elliott and Catherine Ross created something different. Their story began years before they became one of Hollywood's most admired couples. Although they had crossed paths earlier, it was during the filming of The Legacy in 1978 that their relationship truly developed. Ross was already a major star, known for films like The Graduate and Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid. Elliott, meanwhile, was still building his reputation. What followed became one of Hollywood's rare success stories. The couple married in 1984 and remained together through decades of industry change, personal growth, and professional challenges. Their daughter, Cleo Rose Elliott, became an important part of their lives. While Sam Elliott spent years portraying rugged independent men on screen, family remained central to his identity away from the cameras. Unlike many celebrities, Elliott rarely sought attention for his private life. He seemed far more interested in protecting it. That decision may have contributed to the stability he achieved. While Hollywood constantly reinvented itself, Elliott maintained something increasingly uncommon, a sense of permanence. Yet time never stops moving. As the years passed, the entertainment industry began changing dramatically. The Hollywood that had shaped Sam Elliott's career slowly started disappearing. The classic westerns that helped define American storytelling became less common. Studios focused on different kinds of heroes. Digital technology transformed filmmaking. Streaming services altered viewing habits. Entire generations of actors found themselves navigating a landscape they barely recognized. For someone like Elliott, the changes carried a deeper emotional significance. He represented a tradition, a connection to an earlier era of filmmaking, an era where character mattered as much as spectacle, an era where a weathered face could tell a story without special effects. As new stars emerged and trends shifted, Elliott remained respected, but the world around him continued evolving. Then came another unavoidable reality. The passing of time did not only affect movies, it affected people. One by one, many of the legendary figures who helped define 20th century Hollywood began disappearing. Actors, directors, writers, producers, friends, colleagues, familiar faces who had shared soundstages, premieres, and decades of memories. The list grew longer with every passing year. For younger audiences, these losses often appear as headlines. For someone who lived through those eras, they are something much more personal. Each loss becomes a reminder of youth, a reminder of opportunities once taken for granted, a reminder that entire chapters of life are now memories. Imagine spending decades in an industry alongside remarkable people, only to gradually watch those people vanish. Imagine realizing that many of the conversations, friendships, and experiences that shaped your career now exist only in your own recollection. That is one of the hidden emotional realities of growing older. The public sees success. The individual often sees absence. As Elliott entered his 70s and then his 80s, these realities became increasingly difficult to ignore. Yet he continued working. One of the most celebrated moments of his later career arrived with A Star Is Born in 2018. His performance earned widespread acclaim and introduced him to an entirely new generation of viewers. The recognition was significant. After decades of exceptional work, many felt Hollywood was finally acknowledging what audiences had known for years. But even achievements like that carry a bittersweet quality, because they arrive after a lifetime has already passed. The young actor who once dreamed of success was gone. In his place stood a man with decades of memories behind him. A man who had witnessed enormous cultural change. A man who had outlasted trends, competitors, and entire eras. And perhaps that is where the deepest nostalgia enters Sam Elliott's story. When audiences see him today, they are not simply seeing an actor. They are seeing a connection to another time. A living reminder of classic westerns, traditional storytelling, and the generations that built modern Hollywood. But being a symbol comes with its own emotional burden. Because every year that passes makes that connection more fragile. Every year means another step farther from the world that first made him famous. Every year means more familiar faces gone. More memories preserved only in photographs and old films. More evidence that even the strongest legends cannot stop the clock. And while Sam Elliott remained respected, admired, and deeply loved by audiences across America, an even more emotional chapter was quietly approaching. A chapter that had little to do with movies or awards. A chapter centered on a question every person must eventually face. What happens when a man known for strength begins confronting the realities of advanced age? Because the image millions admired for decades, the towering cowboy with a powerful voice and unshakable presence, was about to meet the one opponent that fame, talent, and success can never defeat: time itself. For most of his life, Sam Elliott seemed larger than life. On movie screens, he rode horses across vast landscapes, stood tall against danger, and projected a sense of confidence that felt almost timeless. His deep voice, iconic mustache, and commanding presence became part of American culture itself. For decades, audiences looked at Sam Elliott and saw strength. That is precisely why so many people feel emotional when they see him today. Not because he has fallen from success. Not because his life has been ruined. But because they are witnessing something every human being eventually experiences. They are witnessing time. Now in his 80s, Sam Elliott lives a far quieter life than the one many fans imagine. The constant chase for roles, the endless travel, the pressure of building a career. Much of that has been replaced by different priorities. Family has become more important than ever. Peace has become more valuable than publicity. The things that matter at 81 are often very different from the things that matter at 31. After spending decades working in one of the world's most demanding industries, Elliott has earned the ability to slow down. He continues to take selected projects, but he no longer appears driven by the need to prove himself. There is nothing left to prove. His legacy was established long ago. Instead, he seems focused on enjoying the life he spent decades building alongside his wife, Catherine Ross. Their marriage remains one of Hollywood's most enduring relationships, a rare achievement in an industry known for instability. For many people, that stability may be his greatest success. Awards eventually gather dust. Box office records are eventually broken. Fame rises and falls. but meaningful relationships can endure. As Elliott has grown older, interviews have occasionally revealed a man who understands the value of time in a way younger people often cannot. Age changes perspective. When people are young, life feels endless. There is always another year, another opportunity, another chapter waiting to begin. By the time someone reaches 81, the equation changes. The future remains important, but the past becomes impossible to ignore. Every memory gains greater significance. Every friendship feels more precious. Every remaining year carries a value that cannot be measured. This reality creates the deeper sadness hidden behind the title of this story. It is not the sadness of failure. It is the sadness of awareness. The awareness that even a remarkable life moves faster than anyone expects. For younger generations, Sam Elliott may simply be a beloved actor. For older fans, he represents something much larger. He represents continuity. He represents memories. He represents decades of American culture that many people experienced alongside him. When longtime fans watch his films today, they are often remembering more than the performances. They are remembering their own lives. The years when they first saw him on screen. The people they watched those movies with. The moments that have since become memories. In a strange way, Sam Elliott has become a living bridge between generations. And that bridge carries emotional weight. Because every appearance reminds audiences that time has passed for them as well. The strong young actor who once fought for recognition eventually became an elder statesman of Hollywood. The young fans who admired him became grandparents. Entire decades disappeared. Entire eras ended. The Western heroes that inspired him belong to history now. Many of the stars who worked alongside him are gone. Countless theaters have closed. The Hollywood that existed when he began his career survives mostly in photographs, archived interviews, and old films. Yet somehow Sam Elliott remains. And that fact alone feels extraordinary. Still, aging is not merely philosophical. It is physical. No matter how disciplined or fortunate a person may be, the body changes. Energy changes. Recovery becomes slower. Activities once taken for granted require more effort. These realities affect everyone. Movie stars are not exempt. Perhaps that is why viewers feel such powerful emotions when they see Elliott today. For decades, he appeared almost permanent, almost untouched by time. But time eventually reaches everyone. The contrast between the legendary cowboy image and the reality of being 81 years old creates a feeling that is difficult to describe. It is not disappointment. It is recognition. Recognition that human beings are mortal. Recognition that even our heroes age. Recognition that every life, no matter how successful, is finite. And perhaps that is the true meaning behind the phrase, "How he lives is very sad." Not because Sam Elliott lives a miserable life. The evidence suggests quite the opposite. He has enjoyed a remarkable career, a lasting marriage, professional respect, financial success, and the admiration of millions. The sadness comes from something universal. It comes from watching a beloved figure move through the same passage of time that awaits all of us. It comes from realizing that no amount of fame can stop aging. No amount of talent can pause the clock. No amount of success can prevent the disappearance of entire generations. Yet there is also something profoundly beautiful in that realization. Because Sam Elliott's story is not ultimately about loss. It is about endurance. It is about a young man who refused to abandon his dream. A struggling actor who survived decades of uncertainty. A performer who built one of the most respected careers in Hollywood history without sacrificing authenticity. A husband who maintained a lasting partnership in an industry where such relationships are rare. A man who continued moving forward as the world around him changed again and again. Today, when audiences hear that unmistakable voice or see that familiar face, they are not simply looking at a celebrity. They are looking at a lifetime. A lifetime of perseverance, dedication, and character. And perhaps that is why Sam Elliott continues to matter. He reminds us that growing older is not a failure. It is a privilege denied to many. Yes, there is sadness in watching the years pass. There is sadness in saying goodbye to people, places, and eras that can never return. There is sadness in realizing how quickly life moves. But there is also gratitude. Gratitude for the memories. Gratitude for the journey. and gratitude that figures like Sam Elliott leave behind stories worth remembering. Because long after the cameras stop rolling and long after the final credits fade, what remains is not the fame. What remains is the life itself. And when the story of Sam Elliott is viewed in its entirety, it becomes more than the story of a Hollywood legend. It becomes a reminder to cherish our own time, value the people we love, and appreciate every chapter while it lasts. For in the end, the passage of time may be sad, but a life lived with purpose, integrity, and heart is something truly worth celebrating.